Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny video, and today I bring you what I think are going to be the most valuable cards from the new Star Wars Destiny set, the Ways of the Force. These are the cards that you want to hold on to, that you want to seek to get, that please don't get swindled out of on day one. Alright. The first card is going to be the Dagger of Mortis. I don't even have an image for this. We haven't seen it yet. This is something that was spoiled on a site. We're just trusting that it's right. It is a 3-cost dagger melee weapon with redeploy. The sides are 2 melee, plus 3, and it's something like remove a shield or gain a shield, something like that when you swing it. Essentially, it's a really good melee weapon. I think it's going to compete with the Heirloom Lightsaber, and I think there'll be some decks that are going to want to go with the Heirloom over it, maybe use both. There's a lot of high-quality 3-cost melee weapons, but I still think regardless, it's got redeploy, it's got really good sides, it's going to see play, probably for a long time. Get the weapon, hold on to it. I don't think it's going to be the most valuable card in the set, but it's going to be good. Next is Cassian. I don't think Cassian is going to end up being the most valuable card, simply because I don't think he's going to be overwhelming in strength. But I think the fact that he can both anchor a mill deck and be really good in a damage deck is going to make people want him. I think he's really powerful, but I don't think he's going to hold a ton of value long term. He's a card on this list that I'd be willing to trade up for one of the other cards on the list. But he is good. He is going to be valuable. People are going to want him. Don't throw him away for nothing. Next on the list is Snoke. And Snoke is a more interesting one. I think it's undecided just how good he's going to be. He's definitely good. But is he better than Talzin? I don't know. He's certainly more flexible, and that alone might make him better. Certainly in some decks that will make him better. And once rotation happens, he becomes better there. But I think the real question is he better than Anakin in those 17-13 decks? I'm not sure yet what's better. I tend to think once, say, Kylo dies, it's better to have a geared up Anakin than a helpless Snoke. Blue can keep people alive a while. Snoke's ability does make it so that he can just blitz people down or get tons and tons of resources. He is also flexible in that he doesn't have to just go into one of these 2-character decks. You can play him at 11, play him in a 4-dice deck, in a 3-character deck. So he has a little flexibility, and if any of these becomes amazing, he'll retain that value. He's going to start with value because people are going to want to try him in all these different ways. He has this crazy flashy ability. My gut says we are overvaluing him, and he will drop in value, but I wouldn't trust my gut. I would say hold on to him and see which way the winds are blowing before you make your decision on him. If you're going to trade him for one of these cards on the list, hopefully trying to trade up as this list progresses. Alright, next up we have Darksaber. Darksaber is this card that in a vacuum looks so good, it looks like it should be number 1 on this list, but I don't think it is. I think what's going to happen is people are going to get it, people are going to get really excited, everyone's going to want it, and then as people start making decks, they're going to be like, wait, it seems like the 15-15 decks are better without yellow. Like, they're really good with mono blue and things like that. And so the problem for Darksaber is going to be finding a tier 1 deck that it lands in. It's going to see play, but if it's not in tier 1 decks, people aren't going to go crazy paying the big bucks for it. They'll want it, but they'll say, I don't need it for my tier 1 deck, I'll pass on it. So I feel like this is another one of these cards that's going to start really high and then drop, and it's kind of going to depend on where it lands in the meta to see where its value is going to be. But my point is, I wouldn't throw it away for nothing day one. I think it will have some value. We'll just have to see just how much. Alright. The second most valuable card in the set to me is going to be Luke. Alright, let's start here. People love Luke. Everyone has been wanting Luke to be good. Ever since Awakenings, people were like, hey, I will make Awakenings Luke good. He was garbage, and people worked so hard to make him good. People went online saying he was the best character in the game when he was clearly not, because they were so deluded, they just wanted Luke to be good. Well, guess what? We have an awesome Luke now. Yeah, he's old, he's grizzled. This version of Luke doesn't play a huge part in the movies, but it doesn't matter. People love Luke, and this Luke is really, really good. At this price point of $12.15, to have 3 melee sides with all these shields in case you need to go that way, it's just kind of absurd. I feel like he's going to be one of the top cards in the meta for quite a while. He's just really, really good. If you get him, hold him. Do not trade him for junk. Please just don't do that. All right. The most valuable card in this set, I think, is a little surprising. It's Ezra Sabre. And you might look at this and go, I mean, it's good. I see what you're talking about. It's got redeploy. That's great. It seems solid. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but how is it the best, most valuable card in the set? And the reason is that whenever you find these 2-cost sabers with redeploy, there just isn't one that's really good. That's really the bottom line. The interesting thing, though, is its value is going to be lower to start because we already have Ancient Lightsaber. We already have Shoto Lightsaber. And the decks that are running these, I'm not sure they would see Ezra Sabre as an upgrade. Ancient Lightsaber is survivability and damage. The Shoto Lightsaber is allowing you to turn on Rey and do all these little tricks of all these people that want to use shields. And so the question is Ezra Sabre better than those sabers? Nah. Will it be a 2-of in every blue deck? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe people are just going to go, screw it, I'm running 6 2-cost sabers. I don't care. The saber's that good. But they may not. This saber right now, today, may be a saber that's a 1-of in a lot of decks. Some decks pass on it. I'm not sure. I think I would be using it. But my point is, that is going to change dramatically when rotation happens. If no other 2-cost redeploy good melee weapons come in, this will be a 2-of in every deck it can. It's going to become the new Ancient Saber. It's going to be that card that if you want to run the efficient tier 1 deck, you just have to have 2 copies of this. And if that happens, this value is going to go through the roof. I don't know if it'll go all the way to 50 like Ancient Saber was. I could see it hanging around more of the $35, $40 range. My point is, while you may open this and go, I mean, it's good, but someone wants to trade me Leia for this, and I really want to build a mill deck, it looks fun, don't do it. Don't do it. This is the card that is going to have the tremendous value, but like I said, it might not be today, it might be down the line. What do you guys think out there? Did I hit it? Did I totally miss it? What do you think is going to be the most valuable card when the set drops and down the line? If you like the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Tiny Grams Games.